I think the troops were sent to fortify the embassy so that there wouldn't be another Benghazi, but I don't think it's the start of real troops on the ground. I think that chapter is over. I know I wouldn't support it. I don't think there's any support in Congress for it. We don't want to have a situation where we put a few troops and then we get sucked in and then we increase it. I think we've been down that road before and we don't want to go down that road again.
I know that you have urged the Maliki government to engage with Sunni and Kurdish leaders. I'm sure you just heard our own Ayman Mohideen reporting, as well as Richard Engel, who indicate that at this point al-Maliki's interests seem to be on a military mission and not a reconciliation or an inclusion of the Sunni and the Kurds.
Well, part of our problem is Maliki. He's done nothing to bring the Sunnis and the Shias in that country together, and I think part of what we're seeing now is really his fault. I think in the long term, he's really got to go, and we need to try to have somebody in there that can try to bring these two groups together. You know, we're sort of caught between a rock and a hard place because, on the one hand, Maliki has aligned himself with Iran. I know there's been talk about us collaborating with Iran. I'm not in favor of that. I think that would make us reach a new low. But on the other hand, you know, the ISIS people, of course, are the worst as well. So I think what we have to try to do is try to find a leader there or a government there that's going to be inclusive. It's going to try to bring these different factions together. It's easier said than done. It's really a nightmare right now.
Well, to your point, you don't want to see an alignment with Iran on this issue, but ISIS, as you just also indicated, the worst at this point, with a number of lives perhaps already taken on this march into Baghdad. If Iran can help stabilize the situation, why do you stand opposed to that as an option if everything is on the table? And Secretary Kerry indicated yesterday that that could be an option to stabilize the situation.
Well, everything should be on the table, and I'm not saying that we should preclude anything. I just think we should keep our eyes wide open when it comes to Iran. Iran is the leading supporter of terrorism throughout the world. It's sort of like which terrorist group do you like the least? That's just the problem, and I just don't think that in the long run any kind of working with Iran gets us further. You know, this is a spillover from the civil war in Syria, yes. And I think it was our doing nothing for so many years. We didn't help the Free Syria Army, which we should have done, so that maybe the rebels would have been the Democrats, the ones that wanted to see a democratic government. This is now spilled over into Iraq, and Iran has been a very bad player in Syria, along with Hezbollah, its terrorist proxy. So we need to be very, very careful. It's not a matter of we don't like one group, so we're going to embrace the other. It's more of a plague on both your houses, and we have to just be very, very careful with what we do.
Congressman Engel of New York, thank you so much for your time. And Captain Sanchez, thank you. Michael Daly, thank you both as well.